What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Fight Library. I am your host, Blaine Henry, and guess what? We're doing a little mix-up today. So, normally I do Aftermath on my podcast. I am trying something new and moving it over to YouTube with video and all. So, for the YouTube guys who don't know, Aftermath is basically just looking at the past fight and seeing what could come next. Let's go ahead and dive right on into UFC 255. First fight I want to talk about is Alan Jouban and Jared Gooden. Now this is kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? I can't figure out the word I'm looking for. Conflict of interest. This is a conflict of interest for me. Alan Jouban, although he's not living in Louisiana, is from Louisiana. Jared Gooden is my first ever interview. This is the first person I've ever interviewed for MMAtoday.com, which is now deceased. Anyway, so Jared came in, he looked decent for his UFC debut. Jouban just did more. He was the more experienced opponent, and you could tell. I don't know if Jouban was a bit too much of Jared to bite off, but man, Jouban just did his thing the entire night. Gooden did well getting him hurt sometimes. He just couldn't find the opportunity to finish. Jouban, however, was in the same boat. He just finished the fight better. Honestly, that's really what happened. Overall, I think Gooden will have a few wins in the UFC. I don't know how long he'll be there, but I'm hoping he's there for a long time. Jouban, he was off for 18 months, so it'll be good to see where he goes from here. Next on the docket is Nicholas Dalby and Daniel Rodriguez. So Dalby looked great in this fight. He's the author of one of my favorite fights of all time. If you go back in time and look at Cage Warriors, his last fight in Cage Warriors, Ross Houston and him was stopped due to blood. The two guys literally couldn't stand up. I will stand that fight for forever, and you guys will always hear about it, so get used to it. Anyways, so he took on Daniel Rodriguez, and it seemed like everybody wanted Daniel Rodriguez to win. I was pulling for Dalby just because, and Dalby, he has this karate style. He was fast. He looked I won't say he looked much faster, but he did look faster than his last fight. His hands were a lot more crisp, and I really liked what I saw from Nicholas Dalby. Now, is he a contender at 170? I don't know. He might be top 15 for sure, but as far as top 5, you look at the Wonder Boys, the Masvidals and stuff, I don't know if he can get past that, but we'll see. Time will tell. Next fight, Antonina Shevchenko versus Ariane Lipski. Baby Shevchenko, as someone called it, and didn't like it. Actually looked pretty good this fight. Shevchenko was exposed in her last fight against Caitlin Chookagian, and this was a return to glory for her, not only in the fact that she's winning again, but in the fact that she can actually wrestle now, at least against Lipski. Now, Lipski is an incredibly fun fighter to watch, and she brings it every time, and she was throwing haymakers at Shevchenko, which prompted the grappling. Now Shevchenko's retaining her top 15 spot and is looking for a way back into the top 10, or into the top 10. I suggest a rematch with Roxanne Modafferi. That would be a fun fight. The last time the two fought, it was a split decision, and Roxanne took it. I would like to see how Shevchenko looks against Modafferi. It'd be a good skill test to see her, grappling and see where her grappling has come along, as opposed to how it was against somebody. So it'd be like a familiar face we'd see her fight, and I think she can win that fight now. Joaquin Buckley. Oh my gosh, Joaquin Buckley is a beast. I'm talking a absolute monster. Buckley put away Jordan Wright in the second round at 18 seconds with hooks, and Wright came into this talking about how he's a really tough fighter. He's hard to hit, and he hits hard. Well, Buckley said, okay, that's fine, let's do this. And I couldn't get enough of it. It was beautiful, and I really enjoyed what I see from Buckley. Obviously, he's I figured out the name of it with the UFC broadcast as well, the two-touch kick against Impa Kasanganay. So he has a bright future ahead of him at 185. There's a new breed that you see coming in. It's really something to behold. It's interesting how good they are. Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval, the battle of the Brandons. Royval's been on the podcast. I think he's on the YouTube too, I believe. But Moreno ended up getting the job done. Shoulder came out of socket for Brandon Royval, which sucks. but Dana White really likes this kid, and we'll see him again soon, Dana White said. He'll have a 30-day suspension, something like that. Anyways, Moreno looked great. He's the number one contender for a reason. He was supposed to fight Alex Perez before they pulled Perez to fight Figueiredo because Cody Garbrandt pulled out, and he was stuck beating Brandon Royval. Regardless, Moreno is fighting Figueiredo next, and that's going to be a banger, and everybody should be excited about that because it's a really good fight. Next fight on the card is Paul Craig and Shogun Rua. Paul Craig, I don't know if he avenged it or won it. Let me see. It was a draw from 2019. Anyways, Paul Craig managed to finish Shogun, and it's time for Shogun to hang him up, let's be honest. He's just not a shell of his former self. Tim Means beat up Mike Perry, and I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. Valentina Shevchenko ended up winning a unanimous decision against Jennifer Maia. I wasn't too impressed by her performance at first, but after some thought on it, I'm actually kind of, giving her the benefit of the doubt because she came with some injury before, a little ring rust, and yeah, I'm giving her the benefit. Shevchenko looked trigger shy against Jennifer Maia. I mean, we know Jennifer has power, but Valentina should be able to get out of the way of those strikes. But she ended up doing well, getting the grappling exchanges going and getting the fight to the ground where she could control it. Maia did win that second round, but I'm not too concerned about it because that was just a gaffe on Shevchenko's part. So in the fifth round, Shevchenko's cruising to a victory, but it looks like she came alive. I mean, she looked really good in that fifth round, like the old Valentina Shevchenko. I really liked what I saw from her in round 5, and I'm looking forward to her fighting Jessica Andrade next. I was about to say Amanda Nunes because that's all I've been screaming about for a year, but that's not the fight to make right now. Nunes is going to be fighting Megan Anderson. That was supposed to be in December, but it was canceled. Now, Andrade, after beating Katlyn Chookagian, the number one contender, is the number one contender. Link in the bio. I talked about this on mymmanews.com, but it's time to give Valentina Shevchenko fights that matter. Oh wait, I did a video on it too. Andrade is that fight if you think about it. She's a former champion, although she's a strawweight. She does have a win over the number one contender at 125. While size might be an issue for Jessica Andrade, she has a really good ability to get in there and bulldog people against the fence and get the fight to where she wants. This could be a really interesting matchup for Valentina Shevchenko because of how strong she really is. Regardless, I think the fight will happen probably in February or March, and we will get to see Valentina Shevchenko add another good name to her resume. Main event time, Deiveson Figueiredo and Alex Perez. Alex has been on the YouTube. I've interviewed Deiveson for the website. He doesn't speak English, so I had to do a Q&A kind of thing, and it was actually pretty good. Regardless, Perez came in, vicious kicks, as usual, what we expected from him. What I didn't expect is Figueiredo to stance switch so much in the first round. I think he did it 4 or 5 times. He changed from southpaw to orthodox and back. What I really liked, what I saw from Figueiredo, though, was his ability to improvise. Alex Perez shoots in on a single. Figueiredo turns and tries to limp leg out. Doesn't work. Alex Perez persists. He presses the fight against the cage, and Figueiredo is stuck there. Perez messed up and kicked the leg out, and it didn't knock Figueiredo down. So what does Figueiredo do? Hey, I'm going to do this spinny thing and shoot for an ankle lock. I'll be talking about this sequence on Rockfin for premium users also, so be ready for that. Regardless, I don't know. Figueiredo probably wanted to sink in the ankle lock. He would have done it if the opportunity was there, but it wasn't. He couldn't get his hand under the leg of Alex Perez, and Alex ended up going to the ground and wrestling. You see Alex Perez on the ground, and he gives Figueiredo a little bit too much space when Figueiredo gives him his back. Alex should have been on him like a spider monkey. So then Figueiredo turns around, his left arm goes over the back of Alex Perez's neck, and oh wait, there's a guillotine here. And Alex Perez can't get out. He tries to lift him up to get him out, and it's none doing. Deiveson Figueiredo is still the UFC flyweight champion. I see a lot of people talking about how Mighty Mouse is an exciting fighter. Yes, he was, but he was so exciting that nobody could beat him. That's what makes Figgy so exciting. He's unpredictable, and we don't know if or when he's going to beat. I've talked about it before in length in the past. The death of a long-reigning champion is always good for the division. We're going to see it in the lightweight as well. While there are fights out there like Henry Cejudo and Petr Yan that make legacy fights for Figueiredo, the next fight, as he called out, is Brandon Moreno. He knows the number one contender is the man to fight, and this is what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to that. Moreno is a bat out of hell himself. So it's going to be a really fun fight to see these two guys actually go at it and bang. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the... It's not an episode anymore, Blaine. Stop saying that. Anyways, that's it for this video. I appreciate everyone who listened, and get ready because next Monday there will be UFC Vegas 15 where we talk Derek Lewis. We've got our interview Martin Day, who fights on this fight card coming up. You guys should check that out. I'll throw that in the bio as well for you to check out. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Y'all be good. Check out fight-library.com, Blaine Henry TFL on Twitter, and Fight Library on Instagram. Peace.